BDSM. Bafflingly disappointing smutty manhwa. Howdy ho, and welcome back to Whole Chat, a boy love and girl love podcast that just wants to see big men get topped and have a good time. With me today is a fellow connoisseur of big men crying and pleasure, Keelz.
God, I do love big men crying and pleasure.
It's like what keeps our personal economy going.
I am worried with this title, Baffling, Disappointing, Smutty Manhwa. Oof. Oof. Even that laugh is nervous.
Well, welcome to the first episode of Summer Break. This year has been difficult, to say the least. So this is much needed on both of our parts to kind of have some more time to breathe and do some other stuff. And I also needed to catch up on my Thai boy love, which is one of the only things keeping me going in these unprecedented times. So I've been busy.
Have they kissed yet?
Yes. But awesome. I'm not caught up to the episode yet. But I need a young prince to kiss his pseudo bodyguard really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I don't know what was wrong with me. I picked a doozy to go over today.
I know. Peeling back the curtain, we had a lot of talks about this where I was like, are you sure? Am I sure? It was a conversation.
This ties into the whole theme of this comic too, which we'll get into a second, but we did a lot of conversations about this. But it's because this comic has a rightfully contentious reception. Like, the opinions on this are truly wild and not really in a good way. And I really want to discuss the comic's impact and why the response is so all over the place. Because I think at this point, no one's recommending this, which is almost unheard of.
Yeah, like, honestly, Killing and Stalking gets recommended to me all the time. Like, people are like, oh, you like serial killers, well, like, let's do Killing and Stalking. And I'm like, no, I already got a very in-depth explanation about it, and I already know I don't want this. I want a fantasy when I read. But yeah.
Well, and even, like, we have different scales on what sort of contemptuous content, complicated or like potentially triggering content that we're both into. Like, I don't love serial killer stuff that much, but I'll read it sometimes. Keelz is all into it, but we both have our limits to certain things. And even within that realm, like, I think I have a very soft limit on certain things. And so I went into this comic very much thinking I would be really chill with it, and it still served me a weird situation, like a weird curveball that I was not super comfortable with.
Yeah, and I feel like for one of the things I particularly don't like to read about, I feel like I could get through it in a comic if I just had a guarantee it was done the way I would want it to do. Like, I don't like non-canon stories, and we have both read stories that have it that, like, yeah, we both read it and we were both okay reading it. But I'm very specific about, like, non-con not becoming horny. Because I don't think that non-con is a horny activity. I get people are getting horny by it. But I don't want to see the comic make it look hot.
Yeah.
Non-con is non-con. I would like it to be treated with, like, honestly, like a note of respect. Like, put some serious sadness on that. And so, like, I have read stories that focus on it in that way. But I don't want to necessarily read a comic that's kind of making it sexy.
Yeah. We all have our different boundaries and stuff like this, and this was just one of those ones that I think managed to step on everyone's boundary at some point.
Yeah.
In like, different ways you expect.
Because you're like, even people who are ready for this, something hit them.
Yes. Like a atom bomb, I would say.
Oof.
So today we're chatting about Perfect Body Partner by Cho Sangduck. It was started in 2021 and has been on hiatus for the last 2 years. And I normally don't cover anything that hasn't been finished, but one, this reconciles the main conflicts by the end of the season. And then two, ain't no way she's finishing this. Because I think that was last updated in 2023, in April 2023. And so it is now 2 years past that, 2 years and 2 months. that's a really long hiatus, and she's also drawn a whole other comic in between that time. I don't think she's coming back.
Yeah, like, if she hadn't drawn anything else, maybe she'd come back, but, like...
Girl, she's gone.
I remember reading a comic that was like, yeah, we're gonna go on hiatus because, like, the author got, like, injured. I was like, I have to rest. And I was like, yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Girl was back in a month, and I was like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
They made it seem like it was gonna be, like, a 3 to 6 month thing, and she was back at it in a month.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like an artist.
Truthfully, that is an artist, but, like, I feel like that's, like, kind of common. If something goes on hiatus, it tends to be a reasonable amount. 3 months to 6 months tends to be a reasonable amount.
Yeah, depending on what it is. Obviously, there have been other hiatuses that resulted in something being, dropped or whatever, something happened, that sort of thing. But this is an awful lot of time, and she's continuing to make work, and so I do not think she's going to revisit this. She was contracted for at least 3 seasons for this, so I don't know what happened, but I just want to clarify, like, she's not sick right now, she's not injured. I just do not think she's returning to this. So she is safe and healthy from what I can understand, but this is just not coming back.
Are we going to get into, like, your theories why you don't think she's coming back?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I think you'll understand.
I have some questions, but I'm trying to take some suggestions and learn to wait. Reward me. I told you I'm trying to be good.
Good job.
Yes, thank you.
So this episode's going to be done a bit differently in general, but I'm also going to be spoiling major shit this time. But I promise you this is necessary, because there's one particular part that breaks the story for pretty much everyone. So I've also encouraged Keelz to play red flag, green flag, so she might be chiming in whenever there's a red or green flag. So see if you can keep count.
I'm looking forward to this. Do I have to keep track of the flags?
No, I'll probably figure it out when I go back and edit.
Thank goodness. Don't ask my ass to do math.
I will actually just take a tally. In addition, I also have to warn for extremely dubious consent, regular dubious consent, sexual assault, and incest. I will be giving flyover descriptions of some of these events. Like, it'll literally be, this person does X to this other person, so nothing explicit. Mm-hmm. But, as always, protect your peace, and nope out if you need to.
Yeah, because that was my ask, is that we just say it happens. Because there's so much stuff in this, Chuck really wanted to tell me about it. And after giving me, like, little hints of what the discussion would be about, I was like, okay, yeah, I want to hear this too. But for my own piece, I just need to hear it happened in no details.
Yeah, so we're not going to get too detailed in anything that's, like, super... things that would be objectionable to Keelz or is not super comfortable for me to want to say out loud. So we're going to be chill about it. But nevertheless, go if you gotta go. BDSM also plays a large role in here, so for those unaware, let me explain a little bit, just in case. Per Wikipedia, BDSM is a variety of often erotic practices or role-playing involving bondage, discipline, dominance and submission, sadomasochism, and other related interpersonal dynamics. There's also a broad community around BDSM that forms so people can meet up with other like-minded individuals, share techniques, hook up, etc. Considering the potential for physical or mental harm, safety and firm boundaries are pinnacles of BDSM play. So they do, like, safe, sane, and consensual is usually how they like to roll.
Safe, sane, and consensual, that's how they put it?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, like, I know about BDSM. I've probably done light versions of it. I have never heard the sane part being added to it. So, like, what does that mean? Like, protect your mental health or your, like...
Mental and physical health.
Okay.
So you can plan a scene, and it can be whatever weird kink you have, but you have to do it as safely as possible and in a way that makes sense for all parties involved. So obviously some people like blood play. You need to do blood play with sterilized
equipment.
Sterilized equipment in a fairly sterilized environment, and you need to know how deep to go and blah, blah, blah. So, like, you can have your little fantasy of cutting somebody up, but you need to make absolutely sure no one is maimed from this. No one is emotionally fucked up from this, that you are being as sane as possible to get your rocks off, essentially. Yeah. All that to say, this story deals with a fairly general portrayal of BDSM. There's nothing too extreme, so no blood, no piss, no dangling anyone from the ceiling by piercings placed in their back. And also, the characters are not particularly safe or sane at times, so if this makes you uncomfy, love you. See you later. So I think we got everything, all the little disclaimers out of the way. So we should now be able to actually get started. And I'm going to start with the character descriptions this time, because I think that will help fill in some of the gaps as we move forward. And this is just going to be a different setup this time. There's too many things going on.
Yeah.
So I'm going to introduce you to everybody first, and then we'll get more into what's going on with them as we go along. So Ahn Soyoung is one of our main characters, and he is a physical therapist. He is a pretty slip of a man who enjoys doming the shit out of other men. He has problems for a lot of legitimate reasons, and you are supposed to feel sympathetic towards him.
Supposed to.
Yes. He has a generally inoffensive personality for the most part. He kind of reminds me of like fox-like characters from anime, where he's like a little bit sly, a little bit flirtatious, likes to tease a lot. I like him as a character in theory.
In theory.
Yeah. Baek Shiwon is the other main character / male lead, because they're both kind of main characters and male leads at the same time. He is a recent college grad turned personal trainer. He's big beefy with a very soft inside and is entirely too trusting. He's almost too passive and innocent, which causes the majority of his issues as the story goes on. But he's a big sweetheart. I do actively like him a lot too. I think he's a great character. He's also just very cute. Baek Shiwon is Shiwon's twin brother, and he is an asshole. Like a real jerk. His only purpose is to cause problems and make another character look much worse by comparison. He does not really serve the right purpose in this. His purpose changes a couple times, I guess.
Yeah, what purpose was he supposed to represent? Like disharmony in the home or something?
Yeah, kind of like an almost rival that comes around in the end to be less of an issue. It doesn't work out that way. So he just ends up making someone else look more crazy in the long run. Yeah. Then we have Oh Young-woo, who is Shiwon's friend from high school, and appears to have a laid-back, kind of jerky personality. But actually, he has an inferiority complex a mile wide, and manages to make Shin-ai seem like an annoyance rather than an actual threat. There are also a handful of other characters that make an appearance, but I'm so serious when I say they only show up a handful of times and aren't given the opportunity to make an impact. They were most definitely supposed to get more page time in season 3, but that didn't happen. So.
All right.
Okay, so let's dive into this hot mess. The comic opens up with Shiwon being handed a vibrator by a mysterious figure. He's told to do as that person says as he gazes down at the toy with obvious apprehension. And then he really has I bet you're wondering how I got here moment.
Oh my.
Like dramatically holding a vibrator like it's some weird contraband that he'd never come across in his entire life, and then being like, wow, we gotta flash back a little, haha.
I gotta explain this moment.
Yeah. This scene, in retrospect, is really dramatic, derogatory, but you will never be able to guess why. I promise you will never be able to guess why.
Oof.
But I'm going to go ahead and show you, this is one of the clips from the beginning where he's just holding this vibrator like it's drugs.
It's pretty funny because it's also pink.
Yeah. So
he looks so scared, and it is a relatively small pink vibrator. It's not a scary one like I've seen before.
So legitimately, I completely forgot how this comic started. I've read it before, and when I was rereading it, I completely forgot that it started this way. Because it was gone from my brain. Like, I didn't even remember that there was any foreshadowing of something happening later. So, because it just seems too silly. It just seems too kind of like, well, this is probably going to be a non-starter, or it's going to be a nothing burger later. It matters later, but it's, oh god, whatever. We'll get there. So, flashback to 2 weeks ago. Shiwon is trying to get warmed up to start his long day of personal training, but he just can't seem to loosen up. It'd be like that sometimes, and he can't cancel on his clients just because of an off day, so he vows to be extra careful so as to avoid injuring himself. Which is why he ends up at the hospital by the end of the day with his foot in a medical boot.
Oops.
One of his clients fell off the treadmill and straight into Shiwon, causing him to strain the ligament in his big toe. It's not life-threatening, and he'll still be able to work, but damn is it an embarrassing injury. So Shiwon sees the doctor, gets mildly chewed out for only getting injured in the dumbest of ways, and then is passed off to the physical therapy area to get some treatment for his chronic shoulder issues. We get to see him, like, mid-stretch, And then afterwards, he's at the hospital with his foot in a boot. And Shiwon is, again, a very charming looking character. He's got like shoulder length hair that he pulls back into a ponytail. He is big and beefy. Mm-hmm. He's got a very cute face. You instantly feel like, oh, I like this guy.
And he's our sub?
Yes. He is going to be our sub.
He has the expressions of a sub.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily the build I think of, but I'm like, that's a sub face if I've ever seen one.
He really does. Shiwon's laid back on the treatment bed, relaxing when a slim figure enters the room and greets him.
I heard slim finger enters and I was like, already?
No. The sex comes at a further point than you'd expect, actually. No, slim figure enters the room and greets him. He's unable to determine the person's gender at first, since her voice is ambiguous at best. So it's both like lower than you expect for like a woman's voice, but like higher than you expect for a man's voice, and that weird kind of in between. The mystery person asks for his name, but Shiwon's answer gets stuck in his throat as the person turns around and reveals their glorious visage.
Is this person a they them?
No, it's a dude.
Okay. I was like, that's gonna be interesting if you get a they them.
No, if this is a they them, and then the story went the way that it did, I would be crying on the floor.
Because it'd be better?
I would be even more upset.
Oh, it'd be worse. Ugh.
I would never recover from the potential loss. Shiwon is totally taken aback by this person, this dude's beauty. He's speechless as male physical therapists ask him to turn over onto his stomach so they can begin treatment. Shiwon's totally in his head about how gorgeous this dude is and vows to himself to get his name after treatment. A treatment that he 100% sleeps through.
Nice.
Which, like, you know.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed because I feel like medical massages are painful.
He got some treatment with some sort of device. They don't tell you what it is, but if I can extrapolate, I have seen people at PT get this put on them and they do like fall asleep. So I think it does heat and something else. But they are actually pretty comfortable, so it's great. Shiwon groggily realizes that he's been full-on passed out as the PT chatters behind him, commenting how tired our beefy little boy must have been. He places a hand on Shiwon's shoulder, and that seems to snap Shiwon out of his haze and into action. He'd promised himself to talk to the PT after all, so now is his chance. Shiwon, precious baby, stares wide-eyed and blushing at the PT and calls him really beautiful.
To his face?
Yeah.
Like, is that just what he says to him instead of like, hi, what's your name?
Uh-huh.
Oh. Yeah. Worst type of tongue-tied.
Trips all over himself, just like, wow, you're really beautiful.
Oh, boy. Bet this guy gets it all the time, too.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah. No, you describe this person and you hear their voice. Like, I know a person like this in real life.
Mm-hmm.
They get it all the time, and they actually hate it. If you greet them with their beauty first, they get mad. So, like, as soon as, like, that even little hint came out, I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, doctor is not super pleased by this, but we'll get to it.
Yeah.
This isn't what Shiwon promised himself to do, but it's something. The doctor just laughs in response, sparkling even brighter in Shiwon's eyes. He tells Shiwon to have a good evening and gathers his equipment to leave. Shiwon panics and hastily shoves a business card into the man's hands, desperate to make a connection. The PT accepts it with another smile and gives a response that sounds like maybe, but is most certainly, nah, dog, see you never.
Very much like, I'm going to kill you, because he's tired of it.
Mm-hmm. And so this is like, you can see him from behind kind of getting ready. He does kind of have like that slender build that I was talking about. And then Shiwon's precious face as he is, taken aback. And this is how they portray him.
Yeah. Like, I can tell they're a guy because I swear to God, everyone draws every pretty man like this.
I feel like
is a
that
very
too.
typical pretty man face.
Yeah.
But I also get that, like, in the real world, I think you'd be like,
yeah,
I need to hear this person talk. And if they have a voice like as you described, I think that'd be like, shit, that didn't help.
Mm-hmm. And so that's him in all of his little glory. This I wanted to show you too. There were the doctors getting ready to work on Shiwon's back and shoulder. And he has a face as though he's appraising Shiwon's body at this point. So you don't know anything about him, but he just has this look of like, interesting.
It does feel like he's looking at some meat.
Yeah, this is what I meant by he has kind of like a Fox adjacent attitude, air about him. You know what I mean? And then this is him being like, "Oh, you're really beautiful.
God, you precious himbo.
He's so cute." And then he does have a nice smile. Like the PT actually does have a nice smile and everything. So you get it. Poor dude. He also teases Shiwon like, "Hey, you're
gonna come back.
You're gonna come back and injure yourself and then come see me again." Blah blah blah.
I bet someone has. I bet this comes up.
Yeah. So absolutely, they should have probably never seen each other again. But Shiwon's got big puppy dog energy and legitimate chronic shoulder pain. So homeboy shows up every day for over a week. And every day he gets therapy from the hot doctor. After all those sessions, during each of which Shiwon attempted small talk, he's finally medically released for his toe injury and should actually stop coming to the clinic every day because you should not do certain types of PT every day. At the end of his should-be last session with the hot doctor, Shiwon realizes the jig is up, that he's probably been pretty annoying and shameless this whole time. He even says as much to the doctor, looking oh so downtrodden. The doctor's silent for a moment, and then explains how, actually, he lost Shiwon's business card, so he needs Shiwon to put his number directly into his phone. All suave as hell, like. Shiwon lights up and is very clearly over the moon about this.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so I like this interaction, but I'm also like, uh-oh, it's a dangerous twink.
Like, this is dumb, but years of shonen has told me, don't trust the pretty twink. Like, it's shonen that's taught me that.
Yeah. Oh, Naruto has so many pretty twinks.
Don't
like, all of them are dangerous.
I was, like, honestly thinking of, like, Yu Hakusho and Bleach a little bit.
Oh, those two. Oh, so many.
Like, the Quincy guy.
Yeah. Yeah, there's Shiwon's little face. Like, wait, really? You're flirting with me? That's so cool. And then we'll get to this in a second. Fuss. Next scene, it's even clearer how happy and earnest Shiwon is about this whole situation, as he sends a stream of innocent little texts to the doctor. The doctor smiles as he reads the text, all snug in a hotel bed, next to a large man with a cavalcade of bruises up and down his back. His bed partner asks who it is, and our doctor, Soyoung, cheerfully says it's a cute younger guy. End of chapter 1. So just in bed with a fairly beefy man himself.
That he beat the fuck up.
Oh, just went to town on. And then he's like, hee, I'm talking to somebody, no big deal. Shiwon is in the middle of a workout when Soyoung texts him back and immediately pauses to gleefully answer. So he's like legitimately, like, I think he's doing squats. He's doing like weighted squats and then is like, oh shit, my text message went off. So he also rather shyly sends Soyoung a flirty gym selfie, like, you know, thirst trap, shows off the abs.
At his request or just did it out of the blue?
He just did it. Like, he got an idea like, I'm going to take a selfie to show off that I'm working out. And then he's like, wait, I should like pull my shirt up and show my abs. But I'm just trying to wipe my face with the bottom of my shirt, that's all.
Woof.
Yeah, baby. Soyoung, still at the hotel, but now dressed, is all smiles at the delicious display on his phone. His partner comes out of the shower and inquires as to what's got him looking so happy. Homie just happens to see the thirst trap, and suddenly he's got a lot of disparaging questions and comments about Shiwon. You know, shit like, people who work so hard in their bodies are usually making up for an ugly face. Insecure bullshit like that. Like, saying whatever you can to establish Shiwon's not that hot.
Is this someone Shiwon's working with?
This is someone that has just had some sort of BDSM session with.
Okay.
So yeah. So can't imagine how that'd be a turnoff for someone who expressed liking all of that man meat. Because, like, it's so out of pocket just to be like, hey, I see you're enjoying that. It's ugly, by the way.
Yeah, but he wants whatever they're doing to be more than casual.
Which, so we're clear, we do find out later that this has been casual between them for several months. And they both agree to keep it casual. And now he's
now he's suddenly jealous. This happens a lot in relationships where people are like, we're just going to be casual. And then someone else actually maybe shows genuine interest in someone else. And suddenly someone is uncomfortable.
Yeah. This is even weirder because they also do have, like, a contract that they filled out.
Okay.
And so This is not just casual, like, oh, we're friends with benefits or whatever. We have a BDSM contract, so we have very specific things that we're going to do and not do. So it makes it even more like, are you really ready to be in a relationship like this with somebody if you can't stick to what you guys have agreed upon and respect each other's boundaries kind of thing?
Can I tell you, I was at my gyno office and I could hear someone ranting about something like this in the room next to me.
Wow.
And me and my gyno both stopped doing my appointment, and she whispers to me, "Did you hear that?" And I go, "Yeah, are they talking about BDSM and contracts?" She's like, "That's what I heard." And then we shut up, and both of us listened.
Yeah, I would too.
Someone's going off. Because I guess someone had found out their man cheated and was like, "I don't even know what BDSM is or what." And like, she said sounding and contracts, and like, I told my gyno what sounding was. It was the best gyno time of my life. I was there for a not fun time, but that fucking conversation.
And so this dude's, riffing, being super insecure, which is a theme of various people in this comics being insecure. But Soyoung says nothing in response, but gets up and grabs his shit.
Oh, he's mad.
He leaves, throwing back a "let's not meet anymore," and exits the hotel room. His now ex-partner chases after him, only clad in pants, and grabs Soyoung's wrist. Not apologies falling from his mouth. So he's just trying to justify, like, well, I didn't mean it. It's not that big deal. It's a joke. Whatever.
Shut up. This to me feels like if you have an open relationship and you get mad about who your partner's with and try to put that other person down, shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
You're not mature enough for this situation.
Yeah, because he knows he's being rude. But he's like, please, Daddy, don't leave me. Soyoung slaps his hand away, admonishing him, and then admonishes him harder by grabbing his nipple and twisting it like he owns it.
I can't take that seriously.
That's what he does.
Don't ever do that to me again. Nipple twist.
Okay. Let me walk through. So, like, Shiwon and his abs, and then him looking all prim and proper, and like, hee, I'm looking at delicious things on here. This is his little grin as he's looking at Shiwon's body, whatever. And then this dude being shitty about stuff.
Look at how beat up he is.
Yeah, this dude's beat up, and Soyoung is like delighted to be seeing Shiwon's abs and whatever. Super happy about it.
This guy has no abs, if you noticed.
Yeah, he's a beefy dude himself, but he just doesn't have abs. But then he's, insulting him. This is the face that Soyoung's making when his wrist gets grabbed, which screams, "I could kill you now."
Yeah.
And then, yeah, he does yank this dude's nip. He gives him the old nipple twist.
It is a hard nipple twist.
Also, Soyoung has a thing for nipples. So he beat those up last night as well. So they're extremely tender.
They must be.
So while he, twists that nip, Soyoung throws some of the dude's insults back into his face and then leaves him, a crumpled mess of pleasure, pain, and despair in the hotel hallway. Cool, okay.
Yeah, okay, alright.
But he gave him back the whole, like, oh, well, people who do XYZ are just sluts and blah, blah, blah. And you called Shiwon a slut, so you're also a slut. See? I twisted your nipple and he fell to the ground. Slut. Bye. Deuces.
How dare you slut shame? I'm gonna slut shame you back.
Yeah.
I don't think he's necessarily wrong. I definitely think you should throw that shit in people's faces sometimes. But holy shit.
Anyway, things are progressing rather nicely with Shiwon. He and Soyoung are texting every day, and Shiwon's really showcasing his cuteness. The only thing that can put a damper on this whole situation? A weird chain of text from an unknown number calling Soyoung a fucker and asking why he changed his number and moved.
Which one is getting that text?
Soyoung is getting texts that are like, hey.
I'm confused. Soyoung's the cute one?
Soyoung is the small, the dumb. The dumb. Yeah, he's a dumb. Yeah, so he's only getting texts about like, hey, fucker, why'd you move?
Okay, because yes, Soyoung, and then what's the other one? Shiwon. Yeah, okay.
You got it. Yeah. So like, Shiwon's being adorable. Like, oh, this cat I found looks like you. Normal shit. And then
I want to see that cat later beating someone up, because that would be funny. We saw that little black cat later beating someone up, and it's like, it is just like him.
You have so much hope right now.
Well, honestly, right now, the comic is interesting.
It is.
So, like, right now...
Welcome to being tricked like the rest of us.
Yeah.
So the whole text exchange of like, hey, where the fuck have you been? This does trigger a nightmare sequence featuring muffled aggressions, emergency lights, and a petrified looking Soyoung. But dreams are dreams. And upon waking, Soyoung can refocus his attentions on the cute Baek Shiwon. So he just brushes off the dream like, I haven't thought about that in a while. What's Shiwon doing?
I have trauma that's going to probably result in me being like garbage, but forgivable garbage.
Yeah.
And I know that's going to be questionable right now, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. After a serendipitous meeting at the convenience store, Soyoung and Shiwon meet in person for the first time since the clinic. Soyoung teases Shiwon a ton, playfully pushing out his boundaries and making him blush. Just like really harmless stuff. Like anything Shiwon says, he can kind of turn it around and be like, oh, is that what she meant? So very, very harmless. As they walk away from the store, Soyoung apologizes for turning down offers to hang out, citing that he had been busy before, and asks Shiwon out for drinks, sometime soon. Shiwon's face lights up as he eagerly agrees, because damn, it feels like he's finally making progress with this crush. A crush, by the way, that is the first one he's had on a man.
Oh.
Shiwon is entering his bisexual king era.
Nice.
And he thinks about it a couple times, but mostly he's just like, hey, he's hot. Maybe I'm a little bit bi.
Yeah, look, I wish more people just did that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's all be bi. Let's all be bi, and I'll chill the fuck out.
Hey, I think you're biased.
I am a little biased.
I shouldn't have done it.
You grossed yourself out.
I deserve to be slaughtered. I'm sorry.
Puns are fun.
But yeah, he is very chill about his whole, like, learning to be potentially bisexual. Doesn't bother him at all. He's just like, look, he's hot. What am I going to do about it?
And I just wish we thought more like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just relax. So what if you like a dude and you're a dude?
You'll figure it out.
Do a little kiss about
Touch
it and
tips,
then figure
maybe.
it out.
Yeah. So later that evening, Shiwon is at a bar/restaurant. The kind of ones where like they have the thing where you can cook your own meat and then drink a bunch. He's at one of those. And he's hanging out with his bros. Several dudes that he went to college with, and one from all the way back in high school, Oh Myung-woo. Their hangout is technically to celebrate Myung-woo's return to school and from self-imposed exile. They collectively have no idea where he was, but the hiatus he took was abrupt and lengthy, about a year in total. Shiwon is quite excited to be reunited, but having a crush can be all-consuming.
Does someone have a baby? Sorry, I'm stuck on the length of time.
He was just gone for a year. He just disappeared for a year.
To have secret butt baby.
Oh, you wish it was that. But he's just gone for a year, dropped out of school for a year, like took a pause from school for a year, and then now he's just suddenly shown back up.
Huh.
Shiwon he's trying to focus on the get-together, but having a crush can be all-consuming, so he's struggling not to check his phone for new texts. Young-woo notices, because Shiwon's not being subtle, like, at all, and he kind of play fights with him, like, oh man, you got another girl, I can't believe this, and then is like, yeah, you always get the hot girls, and it's always you, blah, blah, blah. But then also their friends, like, all of their friends were like, yeah, but he always gets dumped, which is true.
Woof.
He's, like, so nice that he often is the one that gets dumped. So he's cool with the relationship and everyone else is, Even though I'm like, I wouldn't dump him. I'd keep him around.
He's really nice.
I'd keep him
I
like
wonder
pet.
what it is that they were dumping him for.
It just happens sometimes. I have friends who I think are the coolest people I've ever met, and they get dumped all the time, and I don't know what the reason is,
I mean, I guess I'm even wondering, because that was me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You did not want to date me unless you decided to cheat on me later, or you wanted me to be the affair.
Some people just give that energy out in the universe or something. I don't know. It's like not their fault, but it just happens.
Okay, you know what I think it is on my end? And I've talked about this with fellow redheads. I think it's a redhead thing. People see the red hair and they would think, that's the perfect mistress.
A Jezebel.
No joke.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. Oof.
Yeah, I'll pause real quick, and this is them meeting up at the convenience store. I just think his little face is cute.
Oh, he's very cute, and he is very, bottom aura.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is what, honestly, watching Coolbar and Kurama meet. And Kurama would top the shit out of Coolbar.
Mm-hmm. But he's just so sweet. And this is Myung-woo. This is Shiwon's friend.
That was gone for a year.
Yeah. And this is how he's acting. He has a very kind of like jerky, kind of confident, but like doesn't really mean anything by it kind of attitude. He's like rough around the edges, but whatever.
That happens.
Yeah, and so they act like boys with each other. It doesn't seem like it's that serious,
Mm-hmm.
The boys eventually make their way out of the restaurant for smokes, and they decide on the next drinking location. Young Woo is taking a shit, which is important, I promise.
Who's taking a shit?
Young Woo.
Which one was he?
The friend that was gone for the year.
Right, okay.
So he's taking a shit, but he needs to be there for a second. Shiwon is still dividing his attention between his phone and his friends when a beautiful sight crosses his vision. It's Soyoung. He's right there, across the street.
Oh, God.
Shiwon wastes no time and books it across the street, immediately agreeing to ditch his buddies in favor of a pretty man. His friends think this is gross, but not for the gay thing. It's just unbecoming to be that smitten with someone at 27 goddamn years old.
Do his friends even know that's a man?
Yeah.
Because I was about to say, they might also think.
No, they all thought like, oh, he's into somebody. We know that it's got to be somebody. He's texting, blah, blah, blah. And they look across and they're like, hey, is that a dude? Whatever. Oh, that's so gross.
Because while his body is very masculine, but there is, and I think this is very well done of the artist, there's something very feminine about him from behind.
Yep.
I think it might be because it actually looks like he has a bit of a butt on him.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of gives the illusion of curves.
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting to see that.
Truthfully. So they just kind of let at him because, don't be this embarrassing out in the street.
God, you got a crush. Gross.
Young Woo rejoins the group as Shiwon and Soyoung head off. So he's just only able to see their backs. He does think for a moment that Soyoung's silhouette looks familiar, but maybe he's just drunk. Remember, you can do flags at any time.
Red flag. I suddenly have a worry about why he was gone for a year.
Do you? That's crazy.
Oh no, oh no, oh no.
Soyoung takes Shiwon out for that drink he promised. Sooner than he intended, sure, but Shiwon's awfully cute drunk. So they sit together, continuing to drink and chat. Shiwon's doing most of the talking, much of which consists of gushing about Soyoung and saying how comfortable he feels with him and how good-looking he is. Homie's just full-on smitten already. He just can't help it. He's just a little baby. Shiwon's so drunk that he keeps half collapsing on the bar and, at one point, spills a glass of water all over his white long-sleeve shirt. And oh no, poor Shiwon's delicious chest and abs are showing. So Soyoung better help dry him off.
Alright.
Which he does do, but mostly just to take stock of the merchandise and maybe try to do a little seduction. Shiwon thankfully stops him in confusion because it's just water, so he'll be dry in no time. After which, he promptly passes out for good on the bar top.
Leave him there.
Yeah, so he goes off, all smiles and sparkles, with Soyoung, and then this is him with his see-through white shirt.
No! This is little porn-esque,
Yeah.
This person draws hentai.
Yeah, this thing's very horny. And Soyoung is like, oh, I'll wipe you off let me just check out your abs a little bit. Yeah.
Oh my lord.
It is it is a mess.
I mean, same. Not same, but if you could,
mm-hmm.
and it wasn't a bad thing to do.
Mm-hmm. This leaves Soyoung to berate himself for getting so handsy with a dude he's not even sure swings his way. He's acting thirsty, and it's kind of pathetic, but damn, Shiwon is definitely his type.
He's hot.
Yeah.
Shiwon's hot.
He eventually helps Shiwon home from the gay bar and ends the night there. Because, yeah, by the way, he took him to a gay bar. Mm-hmm. Didn't even ask him. Just took him to a gay bar.
I don't know why is he uncertain that Shiwon wouldn't be into this?
I think it's a pretty regular concern that if you don't know if somebody's gay, you don't, know.
But he's not been turned off about it.
I know too. I think for Soyoung especially, there's a level of insecurity he has. Because if I had to give a theme for this comic or an overarching issue, I think it's insecurity. but everyone's insecurity shows up differently. But Soyoung's is very much like trying to keep people at arm's length and coming up with obstacles to not get close to people. So I think it's very clear what Shiwon's putting down. But he's still like, well, I don't even know. So, I mean, until I know, I shouldn't even try.
Yeah, he did have a nightmare. So clearly he just wants to be extra sure.
Yeah. Sometime later, we're finally introduced to Shiwon's brother, Shin-ai, by way of a birthday party for their mutual friend, Eun-kang. Shin-ai is loudly complaining about the lack of girls around them, despite the fact that he specifically requested they go to a club on a day that isn't his fucking birthday. It's Eun-kang's birthday. Okay. And he was like, we should go to a club. Eun-kang wanted to go somewhere different. He doesn't like clubs. He likes to go do different stuff. But Shin-ai is like, well, we should go to clubs so we can pick up chicks and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, girl, who raised you?
Is everyone a guy in this?
Yes.
So Kang's a guy, too?
Yes.
Okay. Just checking. Like, yeah. I assumed, because friendships is almost, like, more segregated in manhwas.
Yeah, at times, yeah.
But, like, especially in a romance thing.
Yeah.
But I was like, let me double check, because, like, if they were doing something like, I don't know, your female friend wanted to do, like, of course, maybe there's no chicks. Chill out.
Yeah, I would. Let's pause for a second, and I will just show you this picture of Shiwon half naked in bed and hungover.
Yeah, that's a hangover.
Because it was important to me to look at his biceps.
Are you looking at the biceps or the way his man boob is just squishing into that bed?
All of it, actually. Thank you. But yeah, this is Eun-kang, who again, like, I would mention him more, but he doesn't really matter much.
He just doesn't show up that
We'll
much.
talk about him the most in the next probably few minutes, and then he, like, disappears for the most part.
Okay, bye.
Pretty much, yeah. So here's him, and this is our first little glimpse of Shin-ai here being annoying.
And that's the twin?
Yeah, and then here's our full, like, introduction to him.
He is definitely less attractive for some reason.
He's not as cute.
Your hair's not as good. Your body ain't as good.
I think his beauty marks are cute, but that's the only thing he's got going for him. He just exudes, you're not going to like me. And correct. Absolutely correct. We'll get there in a second. So, pause. So it is made obvious that Eun-kang has a huge unrequited crush on Shin-ai for God knows what reason.
Ew.
And he will fold to anything he wants to do. It is depressing, but otherwise completely unimportant to the rest of the story.
That sucks.
Yeah. That is the only thing I wish we got some sort of reconciliation for.
As if he got away or got over that crush.
Yeah, go do anything else.
Please, dude. You seem nice.
Yeah.
Your homie doesn't.
What is important to this whole hullabaloo is establishing Shin-ai as an asshole who's got a less than positive relationship with his own twin. But more on that in a second.
And then also Zero Game. You could just tell from the clips that, like, Chuck showed me, this person has no game.
It's obvious, really, from the way he's drawn, and yeah, I'm going to compliment the art style a lot in this, because she's a very talented artist. You can tell he's a piss boy. You can tell he's just some fuckboy who thinks that he is, like, better than everything else, but he is a shitty little piss fuckboy, doesn't have shit together.
I also thought that about the guy you showed me that is the friend.
Young-woo? Yeah, correct.
Like, you're like, yeah, he's supposed to be the rough around the edges jerk guy. And he kind of had that vibe, but I was also like, but there's something in his mannerisms and body here that is also like...
Something's off.
Something's off.
Yes.
Art is amazing. And like, so far, I could see, like, you've already said the story goes where we don't want it to go. But I could see getting into this.
You know how I got stuck here.
Yeah.
You know how I got trapped.
Art's great. I'm interested in the story. Like, I love a side character.
Yeah.
And so any comics with a lot of them I'm into.
Yeah.
I'd be disappointed. But you're saying they disappear, so I'm disappointed about that.
Yeah, at this point, we've only gotten to one red flag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm going to give it a soft 2 for the twin. Like...
We can go ahead and make that a 2. There'll be more that show up. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I want to give him a soft 2 because, like, his whole mannerism and there's not any chicks here and trying to, like, take away someone's birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
That's a douchebag behavior.
Yeah.
And, like, I personally probably wouldn't be that guy's friend. Definitely wouldn't date him. So I'm going to, that's a red flag.
So, meanwhile, Soyoung is stuck at work, doing overtime, but his mind is very much elsewhere. Since ditching his last sex partner, he's feeling a little pent up. But finding a random stranger is out of the question for a variety of reasons. So as he focuses on his little dilemma, Soyoung's mind wanders into Fantasyland where he imagines himself fondling and teasing Shiwon. So that is this picture that you get to see. So that's what I saw. Is he's imagining specifically from the thirst trap and from seeing Shiwon in a lot of his workout clothes, he's fairly certain that Shiwon has at least one inverted nipple, and he's nipple man.
He's a nipple man.
And so he's thinking about how it feels to get into that.
The inverted nippleness.
Yes, exactly. He's snapped out of it by a coworker, apologizing for the long hours, which helps him refocus on what exactly he wants to do about his current problem. So he shoots a quick text off to Shiwon. A text that Shin-ai, now alone in the booth, brazenly looks at. He proceeds to look through Shiwon's conversations with Soyoung, only stopping when he finds a selfie they took together at the gay bar. He takes a picture of it with his own cell phone and then quickly sets Shiwon's phone back down. When Shiwon and Eun-kang return from wherever, Shin-ai plays innocent.
Okay. Does this mean he misses the text because it got read?
Luckily, a call from Soyoung takes Shiwon out of the club so they can chat in peace, leaving Eun-kang and Shin-ai to their own devices. Meaning that Shin-ai whips out his phone and shows Eun-kang the picture he took, and demands his help in determining what bar Shiwon and Soyoung were at.
Oh my god.
Because Shin-ai can't let his brother get close with such a hot girl.
Okay. Yeah, I guess red flag number 2.
We're at 3.
3, yeah. Yeah, red flag 2 was solidified. This is more a red flag. That is so creepy, taking the phone. And I'm going to go ahead and go to 4. Because he did 2 incidents. 1, he took the phone. And then as soon as the other dude's gone, he goes to birthday boy and he's like, help me figure this out. And that's like just so inappropriate.
It's also like, let him have a birthday, you stupid cunt. Jeez.
It's a shame we don't know what happens to this guy. Because I want him to like meet someone who is way hotter and is into him.
Yeah, I agree. Eun-kang is very aware of what's going on. And even more aware of what that bar is. But again, he's crush-pilled and will do whatever. He does end up taking Shin-ai to the gay bar, but he says nothing about what the place is, because Shin-ai is also incredibly homophobic.
And, like, they announce he's homophobic, or we just figure it out?
They go to the gay bar multiple times, and Shin-ai refuses to go by himself. He's like, you take me to the bar. And so they go, like, for, like, a week in a row.
Okay.
Because Shin-ai is trying to find Soyoung. And so you see him commenting, being like, God, what's with all these gays around here doing that stuff in public? Because people are canoodling at the bar and like making out and shit. And he's like, what's with
the gay bar?
Yeah, and he's like, what's with all of them? I can't believe they've gotten so brazen lately.
Okay.
And again, Eun-kang is gay and has been here, which is how he knows what it is.
Yeah.
And Homo's just like,
give him another red flag.
What's crazy to me is like I like Eun-kang a little bit more, specifically because he just didn't say anything. Like, he's escorting him. He's doing what he asked him to do. But he's like, I'm not saying shit.
Honestly, like, I get that. I'm not going to judge Eun-kang because, seriously, when you're in the closet,
yeah,
when you have a crush on someone who's straight or who you are worried could react badly if they found out you had a crush on them, you don't want to say shit.
Oh, I think he's a genius for not saying anything. Yeah. I fully support him not saying
I
goddamn thing.
100% get what he's doing. Kang is wonderful. I still wish him the best.
Yeah.
I wish you weren't so whipped that you weren't, like, taking him to this place. But it is still also kind of funny that you are.
I think it's hilarious, and at that point, I'm like, this is great.
I hope you meet someone in that bar for you, honey.
I wish you would. Shin-ai stakes at the gay bar for several days before Soyoung finally shows up. Shin-ai approaches him with what he believes is an air of style and ease.
He looks like an old sleazy man, because I saw the panel again.
But honestly, it just makes it obvious how self-important Shin-ai is. He thinks he has this thing in the bag from the get-go and starts laying it on thick. Soyoung is mostly ignoring him, giving out crumbs of information, until Shin-ai hears his age, 29. At which point, Shin-ai goes, oh cool, so you're a Nuna? And Nuna is the, like, cutesy term for an older person.
But older women, right?
Yeah, for an older woman. Because he thinks, well, you're 29 and I'm 27.
Yeah, but he's thinking this is an older woman in a gay bar. And this guy does not like being treated like a woman. So he's going to be so mad.
Mm-hmm. Now Soyoung's interest is piqued, derogatory, and he's suddenly much more amenable to Shin-ai's flirtations. Because again, it should be obvious to Shin-ai by the all-male clientele and his consecutive days of attendance that this is a fucking gay bar with gay men in it. Like, he's seen 0 women. I do not understand him. So hyper-focused on this one thing. This is Soyoung being like, oh, fine, call me Nuna, as he brushes some hair away from his ear.
It's so funny because, like, I think they do a really good job here. He does not look like a woman. Mm-hmm. He really doesn't. There is a soft feature about his eye shape and about, like, the hair. Mm-hmm. And even, like, the kind of, like, let me tuck up behind the ear. Like, again, there's, like, a softness to him. But he is still... I'm looking at that chest and the way the shirt is pulling on him. Yeah. This is a man.
Even the outfit that he's fit. Even the outfit that he's wearing is a man's outfit. It's not got the cutesy cuts or whatever. And it doesn't look like a masked woman either. No. So this dude's really dumb.
It's clearly obvious they are not a woman.
Yeah. Nevertheless, Shin-ai and Soyoung end up in a hotel together. The former still spewing shit that he thinks is cutesy or attractive, would only probably work on a naive 20-year-old girl at best. Ugh. He asks Soyoung if they can kiss, to reinforce the moment that they're having, and slides a hand up Soyoung's shirt. Even now...
The front or the back?
The front. Even now, he doesn't get it.
And there's no bra.
I know. Flat chest.
Give me a minute. I need to recover. Is there a stupidity flag color? God.
One stupidity flag. Okay.
And this is derogatory because there's been plenty of stupid, but this is so stupid.
This is so stupid. Oh. So he doesn't get it, and instead questions Shiwon's strange taste in women, which he full on says out loud.
Give him another red flag for making fun of flat-chested girls in this moment.
Yes.
If you think this person's hot, let's say they were a woman. Uh-huh. If you think they're hot and they have no tits, and you're like, this is weird, dude. Fuck you.
Yeah, but he says out loud where Soyoung can hear it. Like, oh, man, he's got weird taste.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So Soyoung is also now aware that this person is, like, connected to the other?
Yes.
Does he think now that this is a weird setup?
Wait. So, first, Shin-ai is rude. And this is not the time to bring up another dude. And it's not something you'd say to somebody you're about to try and have sex with, right?
Yeah.
Shin-ai does a full-on villain exposition and then explains that this whole situation is actually about getting back at and shaming Shiwon. And he was fine just getting a picture with Soyoung to make it look like they were, like, close at the bar or whatever. But things worked out so much better, and now they get to smash.
You are not a reward. You are not a reward. Give him another red flag. And also a stupid flag. Who has a soliloquy about being a douche?
Great question.
God.
So he says all of this while unbuckling his belt and offering to snap a pic now that they are in a more salacious situation. Like, oh, this will make him really upset.
I get beat to death. That's all I gotta say.
Great. Glad you're there. Because this is the next thing that happens.
Oh, he pinned that fucker down.
Mm-hmm.
Nuna. Ow. Nuna, that hurts. You're still... okay,
so, thankfully, Soyoung grabs Shin-ai by the wrist in a surprisingly strong grip, and then flips him, wrenching the idiot's arm behind his back and pinning him to the bed. Soyoung finally asks why Shin-ai keeps referring to him as a woman, which triggers Shin-ai to insult his brother further. Like, face down, ass up, under a dude, and I feel the need to say the F slur.
He says the F
slur? He doesn't, but he's a step away from it.
Okay. I was like, God. He's like, can I just say, he'd get another stupid flag for saying that? Because no joke, he's in a vulnerable position.
That's, like, this dude could kill you. You went home with somebody who could knife you in the face. Yeah. Okay? So still ready to, like is being like, oh, Shiwon's one of those guys. I can't believe he's one of those homos, blah, blah, blah.
Bro.
Soyoung calls him an idiot, especially since he went so far as to go to a gay bar to find a gay man. But also, why is everyone having beef with perfect cinnamon roll Shiwon? Soyoung just gives an attitude in lieu of an answer, which leads him to slapping the shit out of Shiwon and making him cry.
Oh. Soyoung slaps the fuck out of him.
Yeah, so he keeps him pressed out on the bed, and it's like, what the fuck's going on with you? And then he gets attitude back, raises his hand up, and slaps this motherfucker hard enough that he falls off the bed.
That's a slap.
Yeah, and
He's letting you know, I am a man.
Yeah, and then he is legit crying.
Yeah, his face looks legit fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, dude. Oh, delightful.
So, Shin-ai...
I'm so sad to know this is going to crash and burn.
Shin-ai truly, truly does deserve to be humbled. However, Soyoung's choice to do a BDSM to teach him a lesson is weird.
Oh, so this is where we get into, like,
this is
icky.
This is where it gets weird. So, okay. So he does do BDSM to him.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't just do that to somebody you don't know, that you have not, like, you know, had a conversation with, that you do not have their permission. So this is why I said, like, dubious consent, because things happen in a way that reshapes the situation, but it still hits you like a ton of bricks when you first come across it, and you do not know how to feel about it.
Yeah, is it like a rape, or is it just BDSM? Or is it, like, so mixed that you can't...
It's so mixed, I can't give you a good answer.
Oof. Yeah, that's okay. As someone who doesn't like this kind of stuff, I would be so disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
This has been very cool, very pretty, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The art is cool as hell. And I'm interested in the story already because I have so many questions.
Right.
But this would have been, like, sort of ruined my night.
So this is the first wave of when people started jumping up. Because I went back and read comments.
So I guess go ahead and give that another red flag, but it's on Soyoung. Yeah. Honestly, because
yes,
you got to give him a second one because that's pretty bad.
It's bad. Okay, so like
we're not doing black flags, but he would have gotten a black flag.
Like, okay, let's pause and talk about porn rules for a second.
Yeah.
Pornography, hentai, smut, whatever, very often operates on the idea that sex is good and everyone is either active horny or latent horny. Oh, making every person available to get dick down in a, you know, impossible in some way.
Yeah. Like in porn lands, anything can happen and 9 out of 10, everyone's fine.
Yeah, and it's often beneficial to their well-being in some way as well, right? Porn also has a tendency to present insane premises that range from weird to downright illegal if applied to real life. There's so many free use porns where they're just like, oh no, I'm stuck on the wall, and everybody comes up, like, but they're like, this is great, and I'm like,
or like, yeah, or like, oh no, stepbrother, I'm stuck in the washing machine.
All of the oh no, stepbrother, that's porn land, right? So in a primarily pornographic piece of fiction, you expect this scene, and you're 0% surprised that this one incident turns Shin-ai into a total sub that continues to be thirsty for Soyoung's punishment. That makes sense in pornland. Like, if this were all smut, you'd be like, oh, okay, I get where you're kind of coming from. It may not be everybody's favorite, but you could be like, okay, this is just porn rules. We're not doing real people rules as porn rules, right?
This doesn't really make sense if it's a story. So you're telling me the shitty brother now, after essentially being assaulted.
Yes.
Now he's into it.
Yes.
All right. So, proceeding from here, I'm going to let everyone know, spoiler, this is getting 0 from me for whole.
Fair.
It gets a 0 because I really don't like, when I'm reading a story, the idea of, like, the assault was so good, I'm into it and I want it to happen again.
Right.
When it's pornography, whatever. Not to yuck anyone's yums. Y'all should like whatever you want to like. So if you like this, this is for you. But it's not for me.
Right.
And this, like, it just, for me, ruins everything else about this story. Because I'd just be thinking about this.
Because a huge part of the conflict in this manhwa is stalking, attempted coercion, and obliterating boundaries. So this scene is wildly at odds with what the story is trying to convey, right? So that's how I feel about it too, right? Because in a different universe, in a porn universe, you'd be like, that's porn for you.
Yeah, like, and like, this theme is so common in porn universe. Like, if I was strolling through a hentai or watching a porn or skimming through something, it honestly wouldn't bother me. It's so normal.
Also, if it had stopped with him just kind of slapping around and maybe twisting his nips and being like, you're a good little dog, and then he left,
Yeah.
Completely different feeling. And then if he was obsessed with it, like, I want that to happen to me again, you'd be like, oh, you're realizing that you want to be messed around a little bit.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have this feeling of like, ooh, I don't know how to feel about this.
Yeah. Like, if it hadn't gone as far as I'm guessing it did, I bet it would be okay. But, like, I get I've got the feeling and the confirmation. It goes further.
It goes too far.
It goes too far.
Yeah.
So, like, that sucks.
Yeah.
And is that how, like, people reading it felt too? That even they were confused?
Yeah. A lot of people hit this because I think this is only, let me double check which chapter this is because this is not that far in. Yeah, this is chapter 7. So you've read 6 chapters that you're like, hell yeah, fuck yeah, let's go. And this is chapter 7. So you had enough time to kind of get comfortable. And this is only 52 chapters between the 2 seasons, so it's not long. So
yeah,
you've covered
a lot.
You've covered a lot of ground in 6 chapters. And so this does feel like kind of being punched in the throat out of the blue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, we'll get more into this later, but at this point, when I was reading week to week, I'd forgotten about the weird text that Soyoung had received, and it switched my brain over to, like, oh, this is just porn with a vague plot, so everyone's gonna get domed by Soyoung at some point. Whatever. So that's what I was thinking. I forgot about all the other lead up, and was just like, oh.
It feels a little like it's gonna go into a harem territory.
This felt like S-Flower. If anybody's read that one before, S-Flower is like a woman, and she has like a whole harem of dudes that she's doming and
the art
gets involved
with.
Think
of them too.
Right. Like this is a common plot point for plenty of BDSM stories where somebody's just doming everybody, but those are normally there's no plot. It's just day-to-day activities and then being like, oh no, how can I hold all these subs? And it's not that big of a deal. I know some people love someone getting humbled or revenge via sex, but it's not for everyone. And is the first warning that things are gonna get weird. Because this is our first step of like, I think this was too far, we could have done this differently.
Like, I will say, I understand why people would like this. Like, this guy is such a jerk. I agree. Like, if he'd just been spanked a little, or like, honestly, if the dude spanked him and then pissed on him, like, to freak him out.
I think if Shin Ai had been spanked and he, like, came his pants and was shocked by it, perfect. Perfect lead off.
I still, like, him coming would have probably still made me feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Because, like, I kind of want him to have some revenge, but I would rather just someone get beat up more than have anything sexual.
I get that. Or, like, if you have a sexual awakening, it's about you, it's not about what the other person did to you kind of thing.
Because, like, that's how I feel.
I think it would have been stronger and funnier and would have been, like, a cool through thread to go on through this. But, so, messing around with Shin Ai has only made Soyoung thirsty for perfect, adorable Shiwon, and his fantasies are increasing. Despite his efforts to not get attached...
I don't want you to get with him now, though, dude.
Ah, you're where everyone else was. Despite his efforts to not get attached or run to another partner so quickly, the dick wants what the dick wants. So Soyoung texts Shiwon, his first time initiating conversation, and asks to meet up that weekend. Obvi, Shiwon says yes and hell yes.
Oh boy.
Saturday comes quick and finds Shiwon just chilling on the street, waiting nervously to meet up with Soyoung. When Soyoung does arrive, he throws his body onto Shiwon's, hugging in onto his big, beautiful body. Shiwon, completely flustered, can do little but blush and hug back, but Soyoung's not done with his affectionate assault. He looks up at Shiwon, eyes filled with desire, and tells our beefy boy to kiss him.
Oh man.
Well, fuck yeah, absolutely. They smooch, Soyoung taking the lead, while Shiwon can't believe his luck. He's so distracted by how satisfying this all is, he doesn't really notice when they move to a nearby bathroom.
Oh.
Soyoung has
He's already ready.
Soyoung has him pressed up against the bathroom door, still aggressively kissing, while his hands slide under Shiwon's hoodie to robe over his chest.
He knows what he likes.
He showed up and was like, yeah, we're gonna have a little meetup. And so this is what I'm showing Keelz right now one of his fantasies of like Shiwon with a collar on his knees. And this is what's been plaguing Soyoung's mind for like a week.
It's really funny. I'm so disappointed by the previous thing.
I know.
Because it's so funny. He's just this twink who's like insatiable thirst for bears.
I love an insatiable twink. This is so good.
Yeah. It says a bunch of stuff that like I really enjoy. I love the size difference. I especially love a soft big man. I love them.
To be clear, I started reading this and I thought, oh my god, let me read deep into this because I'm going to suggest it to you. That's what I thought. I was like, oh, we're both going to enjoy this. It's what I thought. And then I was like, never mind.
I get it. As far as things go, I am actually glad something bad happened early. I give a story 10 chapters. That's when I figure out if I'm going to like something.
Yeah.
And if I'm still unsure, I normally go 5 more. But if it passes for 15 chapters, I will read it. But I have had comics that get bad in the last 10. Yeah. Or, like, you're 90 chapters in, there's 30 more chapters to go, but then chapter 91 is the most upsetting thing you've ever read.
It's like orgasm denial.
It's bad. So, like, I will say...
But for your brain.
Bonus to this comic, the weird shit happened early.
Yeah.
So, like, I wouldn't have been too upset if this happened in chapter 7 because I would have been like, well, at least now I'm
wash your hands
able to stop it.
Mm-hmm. Instead of getting, like, smitten with it and then being disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's them having a little hug, and then
this guy's not ready.
Soyoung is just like trying to hoover
this man,
Shiwon. Truthfully,
and Shiwon is not ready.
No, he's not. And then here's him just sliding my hand
Shiwon, you're not ready.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very. Oh God, yep, not ready. I'm very impressed with Soyoung being just a slut. Because he's a very skilled one.
Oh yeah, Soyoung knows exactly what the fuck he's doing. I'm so proud of him. So, homie is full-on salivating over Shiwon's body.
It sucks that we're cheering for this, but then I'm also like, you did, like, assault this dude's brother.
Welcome to the whiplash I felt the whole time.
Yeah, because, like, I keep thinking, I'm like, you did totally assault this dude's brother.
Yeah. So, he's salivating.
Brother is a cunt. But, like...
Yeah. It's complicated, but still, like, this is wrong.
Yeah, and it sucks, because, like, I think I have problems with, like, reality and fantasy a little bit. Because I want my fantasy to have real moments, right?
Yeah.
So, like, there's a few things that I just can't get over. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like no matter how much I dislike someone, I wouldn't want them to be assaulted.
I get what you mean.
And I would not want to be with said assaulter. So, like, that would suck.
Yeah.
Like, if I was the cute one, Shiwon?
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was Shiwon and then later found out what Soyoung did, fuck. You know? I would be done.
Yeah. So, homie's full-on salivating over Shiwon's body. And he's complimenting him like, oh my god, you're so adorable, you're so cute, you're so precious. And he's delighted every time he confirms one of his fantasies or discovers something new about him. Like, he's so happy Shiwon's got inverted nipples for real. And honestly, me too.
Yeah.
Soyoung just goes crazy pleasuring Shiwon with his mouth and hands, while Mr. Cinnamon Bun is left reeling and wondering how 2 dudes even do it. Because again, bisexual awakening. Really, this whole scene is really fucking hot and has some truly cute moments, and they fuck so nasty. There's a whole bit about Shiwon thinking that they need a condom, and Soyoung's like, we don't need a condom, like, just put it in me, what the fuck is your problem?
That's funny.
But he does have a condom in his jacket, and so Shiwon gets it out, and he tries to put it on, and he's like, oh, but it doesn't fit. And then Soyoung just, like, flings the condom off and just jams himself onto his dick.
That's so fucking funny.
I do, I think, have that, because they're going from, you know, the slop-on-D's, and this is his little...
He's horrifying in a
horny way. And he's so happy about the size of Shiwon's dick. He's so impressed by it, and he's like, because he was thinking, like, well, he's got piercings on his ear. I wonder if something else is pierced, and he's like, no, but he's so impressive. This is what Shiwon's trying to fight against, as a man who is going to...
Oh my god, he's gonna jump on
finger his own ass for him, kind of thing. And then, yeah, that's him flinging the condom off and just jumping on it.
I mean, what else are you gonna do in these
and then I'm just gonna show you the rest of the sex scenes, because they're good. I wanted to show you some good parts from this, because this is good. Their kissing's really intimate and nice and everything.
Yeah, he's a voracious power bottom. This would be good, too, if he also tops. Does he also top?
The, Soyoung?
Yeah.
No, he does his doming and then he just gets...
okay.
I understand. But it was...
Like, I love a switch. Would have loved it if there was a switch. Because, like, look. Let the twink fuck the big man. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
but... being a coward.
But also, too, they are in a bathroom. And somebody comes into the bathroom while they're in here. There's a scene of Soyoung, like, riding Shiwon's hog like he owns it. And then he just puts his finger to his lips like, don't make too much noise.
Oh boy.
He is absolutely terrifying.
And I see stuff you like in comics, so I feel bad for you. Because, like, this has stuff that you like a lot, and I'm just like, oh, damn, and this sucked.
And then we'll get to that in a second. Yeah, I was super into it. I was happy every chapter for a while, and then I was disappointed.
Ugh, what a shame.
But yeah, so, like, it's nice to see Soyoung top from the bottom, because I love people topping from the bottom. It's so special.
Yeah, power bottoms are great.
And then, like, he's a top and a bottom, and it's just special, and it's so good to see it. But after creaming their brains out, they do go to a movie, get some coffee, and Shiwon walks Soyoung most of the way home. They even end the night with a sweet little kiss. Essentially, they have like a normal last date with a short, intense fucking interlude. And this manhwa is feeling a lot more like a smutty slice of life with a side of kink. But of course, Shin Ai is still around, and he just loves getting put in his place, so Soyoung still meets up with him? Because Shin Ai, like, texts him and is like, hey,
let's do that again?
Yeah, like, what? You better take responsibility for this. I feel crazy all the time.
Give it another red flag. I'm not even against what the other guy's saying. I'm against that, so Juan's gonna do that.
Yeah. Though, now Soyoung is doing this to work through his burgeoning feelings for Shiwon, because he's uncertain if Shiwon would be into BDSM, so humiliating someone who desperately needs to be humiliated and then processing a potential relationship at the same time. And so, like, on the one hand...
This is complicated enough to where I do understand.
Yes.
I just can't get over the other thing I know.
Yes. Exactly. Because I do think that in a way that it's sweet that he's like, I don't want to try this stuff on Shiwon because I don't want to freak him out kind of thing, because I'm very much valuing him as a person. But then you're devaluing someone else at the same time is weird.
If that one thing hadn't happened, I wouldn't be bothered by this.
Because there's a level of fucky to a lot of BDSM stories that I do not mind, and that's what I expected, and you get it sometimes in here.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes somewhere else. So this is weird, obviously.
This is why I'm a big advocator. Tag your shit correctly. And I think comics are one of those complicated things that do not get tagged correctly. But, like, this makes me think of other stories and fanfics that try to get away with this as if this isn't a big deal. And it's like, just warn. So
we're clear. The Lazen is where this story is hosted, and they don't really tag correctly anyway. If it's got gay content in it, I think if it's got gay content and is somewhat sexual, they give it, like, a kind of generalized content warning that says there could be violence in there. So the same content warning that says, like, violence and other fucked up stuff also covers gay sex. And so you don't know what you're getting into until you read it. Lazen has a terrible tagging system.
Yes.
They will not tell you shit. However, if you see this out somewhere else, because I know people read stuff to other places, you see stuff out somewhere else, or if you go to one of the archiving sites that talks about this, it is properly tagged for it.
Right. And, like, there are definitely efforts being made to properly tag stuff, but then there's definitely people who are over tagging when, like, they're like, oh, there's impreg and there's not, you know?
Yeah, that
like,
too.
There's definitely some of that shit happening, but I appreciate, like, just put the tags on. Give someone a warning so that everyone can have a good time.
Yeah.
If you love fucking, like, writing the alien and the predator fucking, good for you. I want to read it. I know plenty of other people want to read it. Other people don't. Other people don't want to think about aliens having sex. They want to see them kill each other. Just tag.
Right.
Just tag your shit. Put it in the correct genre. And so, like, this feels frustrating because I know you went in and there was no tag, no hint that this was to come.
To be fair, nobody knew because it was being released week to week. I was reading this as it was going. So that's on me, kind of, not really. But
no, it's not. It's just, it's on this whole system that we don't properly, like, label stuff. And we should.
Well, to be fair, I am not confident how much of this the author had planned out either, but we will talk about that later as well. So.
Okay.
So this whole situation with Soyoung and Shin Ai, it's weird, obviously. But also not the worst on one hand, because Shiwon and Soyoung have not agreed to anything long term, and all their meetings are rather spontaneous. So they haven't decided to be in a relationship.
True. Like,
so it's fucky that it's with the twin, but it's not fucky in general. If he were seeing somebody else, that's fine.
Yeah, like, and again, if this was a porn, all of this flies.
Yes, absolutely.
If this is Pornland, honestly, you're like, it's Tuesday in Pornland. Like, this is so normal.
Because everybody's fucking in Pornland. Right.
But, like, again, for a story, this is kind of like, okay.
Yeah. So, however, the next time Soyoung and Shiwon meet, things do change. Shiwon, very simply, walks Soyoung home. Like, he happens to see him on the way out of his office. Or, really, Shiwon was waiting for Soyoung to get off. Mm-hmm. And being cute about it. I was like, walk home. Whatever. They walks him home, and they have a chill conversation. But once they reach Soyoung's place, Soyoung tilts his face up for a goodbye kiss. Shiwon obliges, of course. But this causes his precious little feelings to bubble up, and he confesses to Soyoung. So he just kind of whispers, like, hey, I really like you. Soyoung, to his credit, very gently rejects him and explains that it is seriously not a Shiwon problem, it's a him problem. He goes on to further explain that his last relationship went south pretty badly, so he's just not in the head or heart space to date anyone. But he is totes fine with continuing to fuck nasty. If that's okay with Shiwon, of course. Mm-hmm. So this is actually, I'm like, this is like, I think one of the only green flag moments that I had in season 1.
This is a good conversation. We did get a hint something's wrong from a nightmare. So, like, I'm not saying I don't understand Soyoung.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, at least he knows he shouldn't be like.
Yeah. So this, I was like, you're being actually very kind and clearly stating what your boundary is. Like, I cannot do a relationship, but I would still like to have sex with you. Is that cool? Good. The only green flag you're getting.
Honestly, she wants a living green flag, but he should be, on his own.
Yeah. This is not what precious Shiwon wants, but he's smitten and has a miserable dating history. So he says, fuck yeah, haha, we can be sex friends, that's cool. So he puts himself in that situation. But he's
smitten. Like, I don't blame people who wind up like this.
Yeah, he might have to learn a hard lesson, or he'll figure out whatever's going on. It's also a boy love, so he's going to figure it out. It's going to be fun. Mm-hmm. He just wants the opportunity to spend more time with Soyoung in any way he can. Overtaken by Shiwon's earnestness, Soyoung hugs him. He then admits that there's one other little thing that needs to be discussed if they're going to continue exploring each other's bodies. The doming thing.
Mm-hmm. Does he dom as like a profession?
No, he just does it for fun. Yeah.
I was just wondering if he had like clients or something.
No, just for fun and whatever he wants to do. And we do get a little flashback of what's going on in Soyoung's like history. Oof. So like we see like a destroyed room, and Soyoung is on the floor and he's scared, and then Soyoung's explaining like why he won't be in a couple with Shiwon, but then you're seeing somebody is like snotty, ugly, crying, but also looks angry, and then Soyoung like he's got a black eye and he looks petrified as he's explaining, I can't date you, sorry.
Yeah. But it's good that, like, they talked about it.
Yeah, it's great that they talked about it. It's again, I had whiplash, because then I was like, maybe this isn't going to be that bad.
No, I get it. Like, but this is, again, why I give up when I see this stuff, because I always feel like I run into stories that you're like, well, maybe they'll kind of come back to this and fix it. Mm-hmm. 9 times out of 10, they don't. And I'm just disappointed and, like, upset. So I don't like to do that to myself.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, yeah, I have to tell you about something. They actually go to a hotel this time, so Soyoung can show the specifics of his particular taste. He gives Shiwon a safe word, and it's very clear that they can stop at any time for any reason. Great. Soyoung also gets smacked in the face by Shiwon's muscly back when he grabs a nipple too hard. Because he's feeling him up, and Shiwon's like very sensitive, and he's very nervous, and so he grabs the nipple, and then he accidentally jumps and like smacks into Soyoung's face.
I bet Soyoung loved it, though.
I mean, he was like, this is kind of a boner killer, but also, ooh, back. It's cute and it's silly. Absolutely love this. Soyoung's thoughts are flooded with all the things he'd like to do to Shiwon, but he holds back and he takes his time, and they both really enjoy themselves. I took a lot of shots of this, because, like, look at the optics on this. Soyoung is so in control of every part of Shiwon's big, muscly body, and he exudes sensualness, I would say, in a lot of cases.
Yeah, he's very confident with being in charge.
Yeah, and he, doesn't do anything too much for Shiwon during the situation, but it looks good. Just smacking around that big old body.
It looks like he did a lot.
Only things that Shiwon was comfortable with. But every moment of this, and like the hands are drawn beautiful in this too.
The hands are great.
Crazy how good of an artist she is. And this is my favorite scene that I showed you where Shiwon's saying something and then he just like key smashes out loud, which is great. And then they do fuck nasty. Mm-hmm. Because that's Soyoung's thing. He's like, oh, well, Shiwon likes this part, so I want to make sure he has a good time too, and like, obliterates my whole little bit as we're doing it. And this is how satisfied Soyoung looks afterwards, like, aha. Mm-hmm. This is the best thing I've ever done.
A twink that wants to be destroyed.
That's also the last picture I have, so you have to finish up. Oh, God. Okay, so they both obviously really enjoy themselves. At this point, it feels like you're in a slice of life BDSM romance with just a hint of fucky and a possible confrontation with a mystery antagonist in the future. And if things stayed this smutty and light, most folks who like these sorts of stories would have stuck around to the end. But they didn't, and a ton of people got turned off at one specific point. So we're still on our way. Give me another minute, because we're almost there.
Are we going to actually talk about the point?
We are going to talk around the point.
Okay. I appreciate that, because honestly, I just feel really disappointed. The art's beautiful. This is very interesting.
I've read other disappointing things. I know the episode I did with Mia with Blood of the Sun. Blood of the Sun's also disappointing, but in a way that's very different from this, because it feels like lost potential. This one feels worse somehow. Yeah. So Soyoung, having gotten what he wanted, needs to break things off with Shin Ai, which he does via phone call. He just tells him, like, hey, I don't need you anymore. I got what I wanted. Bye. Full-on cunt behavior.
That's funny.
But also what he deserves.
Awful, but really funny.
Yeah. However, Shin Ai doesn't like to be told no, so he interrupts a date between Soyoung and Shiwon, which reveals to Shiwon that there's been some sort of sexual relationship between his brother and his crush. Soyoung, to be fair, doesn't lie about it, but it absolutely hurts Shiwon's feelings regardless.
Yeah.
So it's cool that he was like, hey, no, I did do that. I'm not going to lie to you. Proper behavior. If you get caught on something, just admit to it. But, dude, what did you expect?
Oh, give the brother another red flag.
Okay.
Like, it's a baby red flag for showing up and ruining a date. But because of his other transgressions against his brother, I'm giving it a red flag.
Yeah. So 2 important things happen here. Shiwon ends up drunkenly venting about the situation to Myung Woo, who seems to be overly interested in who Soyoung is. And he even, finds a picture of Soyoung and Shiwon together, and he seems really focused on that.
Red flag. Danger, man, danger.
And 2, Soyoung is fucking livid at Shin Ai. The anger is kind of fair, but also, what a dumb situation to get yourself into.
Yeah, you did it, idiot. I honestly care very little about Soyoung at this point. Because you fucked up in so many ways that I'm like, you may be a victim, but you are now victimizing others.
We can still go further.
Right.
You can still get more disappointed.
All right.
So now, Shiwon is hurt and sad. Shin Ai is afraid and horny about it. And Soyoung...
Ai is afraid.
And Soyoung could kill a man with a mere thought. Just how do we resolve a situation like this? Incest.
Ew. For real?
It's bad.
Give me a second. They go to incest. Did you mention incest earlier as a warning?
Mm-hmm.
You did, didn't you? Because my brain,
Girl, I'm telling you, you don't expect it. You don't expect it. You're so far removed from it. So many people read this after reading the fan support.
Question: does it fix the brother relationship?
Kind of, but not in the way you're thinking. No. Okay, so yes, but later, but it doesn't make sense at that point.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I just wanted to know.
It is legitimately bad.
It's stupid.
So it is people who read.
I was really disappointed before. Now I'm over it.
People who read the fan supplied warnings even read incest and they thought it was going to be something else, and so no one was prepared for this. Even people who like incest said, Girl, no.
Wow.
I read multiple comments where they're like, oh, I like incest. No.
Wow.
I love twincest. I gotta go.
Because one of the twins is so awful.
The way that it's done, stupid. Didn't need to be that. So, you know, I was just saying, like, we didn't need to do that. There was a different way to do this. Same situation. We did not need to do this. There's something else you could have done. And which I will discuss what could have been done later on, because this is easy fix.
I'm not grossed out by incest, if you want to just tell me about it. I'm grossed out by rape.
No, I don't want to talk to you about it.
So it's that bad. Okay.
I know. Like, you're going to be upset with me.
Yeah. Okay. Because I guess I am grossed out by incest, but, like...
I know what you mean.
If I had to pick a poison, I'm going to drink incest before I drink rape.
Yeah. This is not going to make you comfortable, so that's why we're skipping it.
That's fine.
Yeah. Because, again, the incest girlies didn't like this.
That's why I'm curious, though.
I know.
That's why I'm curious.
If you, at some point later on, want to feel like you're in the headspace to hear about it, I will tell you. Yeah. I'm never going to show you, but I will tell you. But we'll do that off pod.
No, yeah, and you're right. I already need a break because I'm legit disappointed in this comic. It was going into interesting places. Like, even the stuff that happened after for a while was also interesting.
You get looped back in.
Like, damn. But now I'm just like, no.
You totally get looped back in like you're going to have a good time, then you don't have a good time. But yeah, let's break for like 10 minutes.
Sure.
Because I'm going to have a drink. Okay, so we're going to incest, which is completely out of left field. Soyoung orchestrates an incest between the twins as a punishment for Shin-ai, which is so fucking out of pocket, and it makes no goddamn sense. And there was legitimately a less fucky way to shame Shin-ai than whatever the fuck this was.
It also makes no sense, because, like, why are you making the guy you like fuck his brother?
Also, that it doesn't make sense at all.
Because I'm assuming it's going as far as fucking.
You don't want to know.
But the point is... that's what I'm saying.
The point is, it doesn't make any sense. Because, like, yeah, you're just punishing both of them.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, right?
Why are you punishing the person you supposedly like?
Yes.
Another red flag. I don't want this dude to have you.
Yes, and again...
And too, because it's a very serious offense.
And again, gotta bring up that, like, that with porn rules, this could be chill. So far, the story is skewed more to light, silly, and horny, but this scene is played pretty seriously, so it is truly a gut punch in a bad way. But if you'd applied porn rules, you could probably make this work, but you don't make it work. And let me tell you...
it's harder to, in my opinion, and I think other people don't have this problem, I think it's so hard to apply porn rules when you're reading a story. I'm somewhere else. If you want this to be a porn story, I don't think it should have as much story as you're putting in it.
Because I've read plenty of manga that are mostly porn, but, like, I would even say, like, Dawn of the Dragon is mostly porn after a certain point, and it's good. But even that has a storyline through it, but it just happens to be heavily fixed with porn. And I've read plenty of other stories that are heavily fixed with porn. Punch Drunk Love has a lot of porn in it, but a really engaging and silly story. But there's a way to do something that's 99% porn and have the bare hint of a story through it, but you just gotta kind of keep it light or very, like, overly dramatic in a non-serious way. There are things you can do and this doesn't do it. And I really do believe that the author regretted this choice so fucking hard later, because the event is skirted past and thematically retconned as an argument between brothers rather than what it was.
So they retcon it into an argument rather than incest.
Yeah, because they...
How do you do a retcon
So the twins have an argument after this situation. Like, the next day they have an argument, and the argument would make sense if the night before didn't happen.
Okay.
But it doesn't make sense with the night before included. And so it immediately is like, she's like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done this. I should have done something else. Because the argument doesn't make sense with the context. And then they continue to have these little moments of where, like, oh, are you really my brother? You've treated me like shit. But they don't talk about the thing. You know what I mean? And that's where I'm like, you should have just had them have an argument.
Yeah.
There's a different way to do this. You should have had them have an argument. But this was truthfully super fucking weird.
Because an argument was due since, like, the one brother's so shitty to him.
Yeah. So, this is normally the point where I tighten things up and talk all coherently about the themes and the meaning behind this. But I absolutely cannot. Not to say there aren't some banger points brought up in this manga. They're just fully overshadowed by the end of season 1. So we're going to have to just talk around some things first, and then we'll get to something slightly more coherent and tight. Because what is crazy is once season 2 begins, it's like the last bits of the previous season don't exist. And things carry on like normal. Because all of this happens at the end of season 1. So, like, chapter 20, and they have chapter 21, and like, okay, season's over.
All right, I'm going to say that might be unkind, but when am I not unkind? So, like, it's like they whole ass were just painting with their dick, realized, oh shit, I showed too much of my own kink, and they're trying to fix it.
Maybe.
By pretending it didn't happen.
Oh, maybe. Could be. Because it's fine to draw with your dick in one hand. Everybody does it sometimes. But you kind of need to, like, pull the dick out of your hand.
You kind of need
to tighten up story elements. Yeah. But so, the rest of this comic is entirely about the development of Shiwon and Soyoung's relationship and the introduction of a stalker.
There should be no relationship. After this. Like, it does... Why is he not mad at Soyoung?
Doesn't make sense. No, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Trust me, if it had gone the way that I will tell you, then legitimately, this would be fine, and this would make sense. But it does not make sense in context.
Hey, we jokingly started a stupid count, right?
Yeah.
Add 5 to that.
Okay.
Like, because I've clearly stopped counting the stupidity, though there's a lot of it.
Yeah.
This is dumb. I don't know. This is dumb as hell.
Yeah, so, rest of it focuses on the relationship, focuses on the stalker, and that season is really, really good, actually. Like, engaging and well thought out, and a really good representation of someone processing trauma in the wrong way. Like, Soyoung continues to do some fucky stuff, but season 2 lavishes you with bits of foreshadowing and flashbacks and allusions to his past and a deep look into his psyche, all of which helps explains why he's doing these things. And so he puts a lot of emphasis on, like, Shiwon needing to prove he's trustworthy, and that's entirely due to his past relationships. Cool. Awesome. But why the incest, though?
Yeah.
Like, why do we do that? And then Shiwon learns a lot of new things about himself and his tastes, and he learns that sometimes your happiness takes a backseat when a loved one is in danger. Super sweet and interesting, but there's an elephant in the room.
Why does Shiwon need to learn that lesson? Honestly, why does his needs need to take a back seat when it just, to me, seems like Soyoung's getting everything he wants?
Crazy.
Red flag. And that's on the author. You're a bad writer. Like, you are missing the point of your own characters.
Yeah. Like, I had the benefit of waiting months in between season 1 and season 2, and so I kind of blocked out what happened and could enter the new season mostly unscathed, but that's, like, necessary to finish it. You can only read this week to week. And not even week to week. You can read season 1 and then you need to take a break and read season 2. Because I wouldn't have read it week to week if I had to go back. Oh my god. So the question is, was this awful choice avoidable? Was it possible for her to have not fucked up her own series in this way? Yeah, it absolutely fucking was.
I mean, yeah, it feels like it to me. Like, you keep giving me solutions to the problems, and I keep even suggesting solutions to the problems. And I'm also doing a thing I hate. If you can pick holes in a story too many times. Look, some stories you pick a hole in it, but, like,
it's a place to be creative in.
It's a place to
play.
It's a place to play, be creative in. And then sometimes it's like, you know what, this story technically is for teens. They shouldn't be thinking about some of the stuff that I'm thinking about. But if you can pick way too many holes in a story, or you can have this moment where you're like, why are you writing your own character like that when that's exactly what he shouldn't be?
Yeah.
Then you didn't do a good job.
So if we're looking at the situation as it was, that Soyoung wanted to punish Shin-ai in a way that was going to, like, really damage his self-esteem or whatever, my thought is Soyoung could have pretended he was going to do what Shin-ai wants, and punish him sexually, and instead could have restrained him and blindfolded him on a bed in a hotel room, and then had raunchy-ass sex with Shiwon on a different bed in that hotel room, or in a different room in that hotel, so that Shin-ai can hear, yeah, he chose your brother. Because that's what would break down Shin-ai's spirit, is he chose the brother over you. And make him restrained so he has to deal with it and just listen to it. That would have been still fucky.
Yeah, and, like, let's say he wanted to include the brother in this. Let's say, in Soyoung's dumb mind, because let's say, give him benefit of the doubt. in Soyoung's traumatized mind,
Mm-hmm.
his boundaries are icky.
Yeah.
So, like, he ties the brother up, and then he invites his boyfriend over to see him in this bad display.
Yes, to embarrass specifically the brother.
Yeah.
That would have been enough.
That would have been fine.
I came up with 15 different ways to get across the same point and not do the worst thing I thought about in so many different ways.
It truly does sound like this person wrote with their kinks first, wrote with their taste first, but that meant you lost a story.
Yeah.
Like, there's an author I like. I really enjoy them. They like feet. I did not know they like feet until one of their stories made me go, do they like feet? They have 32 novels, and it took me reading 28 of them to be like feet. Oh, you like feet. Yeah. But they understand not everybody likes feet, so I'm just going to
They sprinkle it in.
I'm just going to sprinkle it in. And then, like, on their 28th novel, they're like,
it's feet time.
I'm going to do some feet stuff. And I was like, hot, but it made me remember all their other, like, hints at feet stuff, and I'm like, good for you. You have a fetish that is considered a little grody to most, and you sprinkled it in to where normies could read it. And then when you added it in your 28th book, I was like, I don't even care.
Yeah.
I have 27 other good books I can read.
Exactly. So, like, all of what we just posited, this absolutely would have shamed Shin-ai. Because his brother would have won over him, and it's humiliating to be tied up naked and forced to listen to your brother moan, or forced to even know that your brother came in the room and sees you, naked, undressed and whatever. This is honest to God icky enough for some people, but still not so bad that a majority of readers would rate this 1 star.
So a lot of people. So there's more that makes it get rated.
No, this is the thing that makes people rate it 1 star.
Okay.
And I think, especially if you, now that the whole series is released, I think especially if you read this all in one chunk, nothing saves you. Because there is no, time is kind. And dulls your senses. And you can retcon things in your own mind because our memories are very fallible. If you're reading this now, you do not have the benefit of time to chill you the fuck out and be like, oh, well, maybe I'll give this another shot. Because it's all out right now. But this is also, there's just no need to do this like it was, especially since she 100% pulls back later, right? Like, there's no need to do this and then do a hard turn later.
Because here's the thing: if you're gonna go this far, lean it. Lean it. Commit to the bit. If you're gonna go this far, go for it. If you wuss out once, you have to stay in wuss land, and then you have to make it work. Like, if you hint that something's gonna get real spicy and hot, and then you get chicken, it can be forgiven once. Yeah. But they've already kind of tried to soften some shit that they did, and then it sounds like they take season 2 and are like, I totally didn't do that thing. Yeah. Or it's no longer has the emotional impact that it's supposed to have anymore. Yeah. So that's a fuck up. Yeah. This is also why I kept bringing up porn rules, because I really believe if she'd stuck with the toxic Yuri story. I'm not kidding. This is the level of toxic Yuri gives, but in a yaoi setting. I don't know. This might be worse. This is also why I kept bringing up the porn rules, because I really believe that if she'd stuck with a standard, unassuming Dom fucks every single character and played things really light and goofy, there would be less vitriol. Because porn doesn't have to justify the choices characters make, as long as they're horning and getting down. What makes all of this so disappointing and truly bizarre is that the author absolutely serves at some points. The art is truly gorgeous. The style is perfect for smutty scenes, but also works really well for the sweeter and more dramatic moments. She really knows how to draw and panel, and her love for big boys shows through every time she draws Shiwon. Visually, I really enjoyed rereading this. Truly, it is a feast for the eyes. The art's gorgeous. I'm further disappointed it's bad. But also, she continually addresses a real thing that happens to some folks within the BDSM community. Soyoung is small and weak looking, quote unquote, but he's a dom and he absolutely gets shit for it. He alludes to breaking it off with multiple partners because they eventually want to switch or start feeling so emasculated that they'd rather make Soyoung the sub. This conflict is the reason that he refuses to date Shiwon at first, because his last relationship ended with violence and stalking around this thing of how dare you be better than me?
I'm humoring you, but it's like, but you enjoyed getting dom, but now you want to do it to the other person because you feel weird about yourself, you feel insecure. And you can absolutely ask smaller, slimmer male doms and all female doms how weird dudes will get with them. Like dudes will be on their knees asking for mommy to stomp on them and then turn around and want to manipulate their dom once the scene is over. There are even subs that try to manipulate female doms to do worse stuff to them that the female dom has said, no, my hard line is I don't do that. Because there's still some level of like, yeah, you're in charge, but I'm in charge. Because I'm a man.
Yeah, like, I know of the BDSM world. We both know people, whatever. But, like, what makes me recall this is there was, like, some sort of, like, it was one of those CSI Miami episodes,
Sure, of course.
Right, but I believe it was them that had an episode where, like, the cops go into a fetish club and they're a little like, okay, this is weird. But the fetish club is run by dommy mommy, so it's all dominating women. And, like, they had one customer that they kept reporting to the police. They're like, hey, arrest this guy. Because he would show up, like, with a different ID, with a different disguise. He'd bring, like, a riding crop and try to dom the doms.
Yeah.
And then he'd get his ass kicked and get thrown out.
It is this sort of behavior that can be a problem in the BDSM scene, right? And so showcasing this as a problem for Soyoung is such a strong and interesting choice, and one that she handled really well for the most part. All of those parts where they're discussing that, solid. The love story becomes a lot about respecting boundaries and loving someone as they are because of this. Super strong there, right? And then piggybacking off of this, the stalking and violence at the hands of Young Woo specifically.
Knew it, called it. Add a flag.
Add a red flag? Okay.
Yeah, because I knew it.
It initially ends poorly. Soyoung goes to the police about a situation, and they laugh it off and assume it's a misunderstanding between friends because they are blatantly homophobic and don't believe men can stalk other men.
Which this is a problem in Asian countries.
Yeah. Yes.
And it's probably a problem here.
Yeah, for sure.
But, like, there's definitely stories of, like, no, my partner, we are of the same sex, but they are abusing me, help me. And they're like laughing it off.
So it's an unfortunately realistic situation, especially in a country that is suffering from an epidemic of stalking and hidden camera bullshit.
Yeah.
Soyoung has a lot of deep-seated trauma from all of this. He had to run away to escape Youngwoo and only returned when he thought he was safe. So he also left for a year. Youngwoo ditches for a year. All connected, right? He is legitimately working his way through his trauma as he's pursuing a relationship with Shiwon, and it's a mess. And that's a fucky enough mess just to be like, I'm trying to recover, but I'm falling in love with this person. That's enough mess. You don't have to make it super more dramatic at that point, right? Myung-woo stalks him again, and he ignores it, pushing it away so he won't have to think about it, which is some really good and realistic writing.
And I just don't care.
But that's the problem, is because you had so much bullshit happen, you can't connect.
Like, my logical side of my brain that, like, knows therapy, knows all this stuff, is like, I should be upset that he got traumatized. That's probably why he's acting so out of pocket. But there's another logical side of my brain, and this is what I always remember. Most hurt people do not hurt people. That is the truth. More people who are abused do not abuse others. That is a fact.
And this is the thing, is for all of season 2, Soyoung does some things that are a little bit off, but not truly hurtful.
Yeah, because season 1, Soyoung, he's wrong, he's bad. I'm sorry, you don't deserve love until you fix yourself.
Yes, and because the things that he does don't even fit into his character. Because you sit back and you're like, well, the character you wrote in season 2 is not the same character that you wrote in season 1. They're not even the same person. Or, like, beginning season 1 Soyoung is the same as season 2 Soyoung, and then last half of season 1 Soyoung is not the same person. It's out of the blue. It doesn't make sense. If I have to give this comic its flowers, it's for the really strong plot lines and the art. And I do think the author is deserving of praise for what she's completed. But how strong these bits are what makes it so much harder to deal with literally everything else.
It's a big shame. Like, is it the same artist as author? By the way?
It's all them. It's all her. Yeah.
What a shame.
Perfect Body Partner is, as a whole, not a great comic. It has its moments, it's riddled with potential, and it's a true treat to look at. But the author's indecisiveness as to what she wanted to convey and how lead to a chaotic and unfortunately uncomfortable work that remains to this day unfinished. Because I really do believe in my heart that she went in two different directions, messed up, tried to reconcile, and then at this point, because of the poor reception, she's not going to finish this. I don't think she knows how to reconcile what she's done, which is like just a thing that can happen to any author. And then it is so widely panned just from a Western audience. I wouldn't pick it back up. Yeah. I'd pack it in. I would move on to something else and cut my losses.
Yeah, because like you could probably look this comic up on like Novel Spoilers or something to see how the like Eastern audience liked it. Because they'll be honest too, you know, if they like or don't like something. And I would like to know how they felt about it.
I would love to know.
Because, like, and you could probably go look it up and see how they feel.
I'm going to give it a shot.
Because, like, a few comics that I read, I go look up on Novel Spoilers or something.
Yeah.
I have a friend who will translate some Korean for me. And just, like, I don't necessarily need story spoilers. I just want to know, how are we feeling?
Yeah, what are y'all feeling the same way that Westerners are? Because when I say Westerners, I don't just, not even just Westerners, some other Easterners from other countries that maybe have to get this comic via the American source or via the Western source, they also have feelings about this. So it's a lot of people that I'm like, ooh, they didn't enjoy this.
Yeah, like, you kind of want to know what audience is this serving, or are you serving no one?
Yeah, who loved this? It's like getting punched in the throat as you're orgasming, and that's not your kink. Well, if you want to have a smutty, kinky, beautifully rendered and bad time, Perfect Body Partner is available for you. You can find it on Lysen. It contains BDSM, violence, domestic violence, coercion, manipulation, the police being the police, threats of sexual assault, dubious consent, actual sexual assault, stalking, and incest with a capital I. And Keelz, if you want to give a whole rating, you can, but it truly doesn't matter.
I already said earlier, this gets a 0. Like,
right?
We talked about this solely because there was so much to talk about. And you're right, there is so much to talk about. But, truth be told, I wouldn't have gotten past chapter 7. That would have been it for me.
Yeah.
Because, like, I might have read to chapter 10, but I still would have given the story up. Because by now I've learned if there's something in it I don't like, they're not going to fix it. It's not going to get better.
Yeah.
So, the art's amazing. There are parts of the story that could have been cool. It just gets a big 0. I honestly feel bad having to give it a 0. So, I will also preface, this is a huge, hard stop for me in terms of what I like. It's a 0. I feel like other people who might like this could give it a fairer rating. But it sounds like even people who do like this don't have a good rating.
Okay, so to tally up the red flags, green flags, and stupid flags for those of you at home, we have one green flag, which was Soyoung actually explaining things to Shiwon and being very clear with him.
I want to be petty and take it back, but I am glad he did that.
In that moment, that was the Soyoung of early season 1 and season 2. Not the one in between. We have 7 stupid flags, most of which came from Shinai, and then the rest that came from Soyoung. And then we have 16 red flags spread out between Shinai and Soyoung collectively.
And I think Soyoung gets the most of them, and that sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I really hate this kind of writing.
Yeah.
Because we just kind of have a victim who became the abuser, and that does happen. It does happen. But I have a feeling that's not what they wanted.
Nope.
But that's what you did. Because, again, and I'm going to say it, because it's so important. People who are abused often do not abuse others. So if you have ever heard that bullshit said to you that someone hurt you so you're going to hurt others, that's not how it works. That is statistically not true. People do not hurt people, but your pain and your own suffering can hurt others. It happens. But statistically, if you're abused, you're not going to go abuse someone else. And if you do, like, there are people out there who have had a moment where something terrible happened. Like, a moment of pain and fear exploded out of them and they did something they regret, 9 out of 10 of those people go get help when that happens. When they finally have that thing crack, they go get help. And like this directly spits into what I don't like.
Yeah. Well, if you want more from Cho Sangduck, you can find her on Twitter. But let me preference. You can find her on Twitter, but let me be absolutely clear. I did not like this. Keelz did not like this. There were plenty of other people who didn't like this. If you go find her on Twitter and you give her attitude over this, I will come to your house and punch your dog. Okay? Because it...
Don't punch their dog. Just punch them.
It'll hurt them more if I punch their dog.
Okay, don't punch their dog. You know what you need to do? Pee on their keyboard.
Listen, if you come after her, give her attitude about this, tell her she's a terrible person, any of that weird anti-bullshit that people like to do sometimes, I will come pee in your house. And not in the toilet. I will find somewhere, something that you love, something that you care for. I will pee on it. I'll pee on your dog. I'll pee on your keyboard. I will pee in your juice. Do not do that.
Yeah.
This wasn't good does not mean that she's deserving of vitriol or any sort of blowback. She's over it. She's moved on. She's doing cool work again. Leave her alone.
Save that energy for Elon Musk. Go shit on him.
There's so many people you could piss off. There's so many people you can be mean to.
There's so many people that deserve to be mean to. This person just wrote a bad story. That happens.
It happens to everybody.
You don't like... The only person you need to shit on for a terrible story is J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, and because she's a fucking turf.
Fuck her.
Yeah, give all your negative energy to fucking J.K. Rowling, not this poor woman who just didn't quite get something right.
They wrote a bad story. It happens.
It's fine.
But they're not a bad person.
Yes.
If later we learn she eats babies, we will retract this and say, go flame her, but not right now.
Leave her alone. So... if you want to see what else she's working on, you can find her on her Twitter at Sangduck_C. That's SANGDUCK_C. If you want more of her work, she has released a short called Wanna Do It on Lazin. It's part of an anthology of other boy love works that are, a few chapters. Otherwise, she's mostly drawn for others, including My Jumbo Babe and No Love Lost Lady, both of which are also on Lazin. Good opportunities for you to stare at her gorgeous art and see what she's doing, because she draws for those, but doesn't write for them.
And the art is worth it to look at. So
it's
if you go to this comic and you're like, I don't want to read it, don't. Just go look at the art. Like, oh my.
And
it's gorgeous.
And also, if you do want to read Perfect Body Partner and you want to skip what's weird, you should skip the end of chapter 19, you should skip chapter 20, and you should skip the beginning of chapter 21. After that, you'll be primarily in the clear, and you can just do whatever you want to do. If you don't want to see the first scene with Soyoung and Shin-ai, just skip chapter 7, or most of chapter 7 at that point. You're not really missing much. If you've listened to this, you kind of know where things are going. It's not that big of a deal. You'll catch up. But it's your choice. Do it if you want to. Need more Hole? Hit us up on Tumblr and Bluesky at hole-chat. Any updates during summer break or the rest of the year can be found there. So, if you're curious about something, look for us there. You can also send us messages, leave us comments, shit like that, and we will answer them. It's usually probably going to be me answering, but someone will answer. Bluesky inquiries should be sent to hole.chat.69@gmail.com. And of course, we'd appreciate it if you'd like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends and your dad. Every time y'all interact, we lose our minds a little, in a cute way. That's all for today, and we will see y'all in 2 weeks. Until then, tighten up.
An unenthusiastic tighten up.